What is up, you filthy, filthy motherfuckers? What's good, Tricks? So, I apologize. I've been really busy. Not only at work, but slamming out jailbroken consoles. It's been off the hook. So, I meant to get this to you guys a little bit earlier, but today I am going to walk you through how to do exploit 4.84 and jailbreak your fucking console with a thumb drive again. Now, I know there's a couple videos out there that show you how to go through the web browser and all that bullshit, and it's like a fucking hour or two. Fuck all that. I'm going to show you how to get this shit done quick like. I have compiled everything, organized all the files for the web server, all the HTMLs. You ain't got to do shit, bitch. So, basically what's going to happen is you are going to download a file from me, and these links come directly from me. My motherfucking MediaFire account, okay? This is my shit. And I do have a password on here just because of the hot links from these motherfuckers. But basically you're going to see up here. When you open this file, this is what you're going to have. You are going to copy all of this to your thumb drive, okay? In the mini web server, which we'll get back to as soon as you open that up, you'll see I've got that. And in here, in the docs folder, I've put everything and updated all the files. So you don't have to piss with none of that. Also, I have the firmware on here you're going to need. It is already in the properly named folders, and the firmware is named. Again, you don't have to do shit. And of course, the flash hex is on here. You're not going to need the JPEG, but in case you decide to do the exploit, I left it on there. Now, before we get started, you must have a compatible model. So, I'm not going all into this because PS3 Wiki has laid out in-depth detail, but I'm going to give you the gist of it. Fat Boys. First one was the A01, which, you know, a couple of those were backward compatible. But the A through the G model are NANDs. So if you have any of those particular models, that's what you're using. Once they got to the H on through the rest of the Fat Boys, those are NOR. Now we moved into the second gen Slim, still front loader. And I'm not covering Euro models, but it's pretty close. I know there's 2504s and different ones, but in America, the 2001, 2101, 2501, A or B is a NOR chip, and they are jailbreakable, with the motherfucking exception of the 2501B. There's like 3 or 4 models that cannot be downgraded. If you look on the bottom, there's date codes. Anything in April, May, June 2011, you're fucked. But those are very rare models. In almost 9 years of doing this, I literally have ran into one. So, cannot be jailbroken. Dealing with the same Slim models, if you have a 3001 A or B, as they say in the ghetto, you be fucked. And of course, no Super Slim / top loaders. Those cannot be done. I don't care how hard you wish. I don't care how many ways you want to ask the fucking question. They cannot be jailbroken. So, you're going to do this at your own risk, but the bottom line is the PS3 exploit team kicked ass as usual, so kudos to them. And I will have a link to these guys at the bottom. So let's go over to the PS3 because I have a model that's actually on 4.81. So I actually could do the 4.82 exploit, but we're not going to do that. I'm going to show you how it's done on the 4.8. So let's pause this bitch and I'll see you over there. So basically, at update 4.83, that basically patched the entry point. So what the gang did is they went in and fixed all that shit on 4.84, and they created a hybrid firmware. That is in the download link I gave you. So once you copy all them files directly onto your motherfucking thumb drive, you are going to go up and you are going to put it in the right-hand socket of your thumb drive. So, I've got, and I'm going to show you guys, we're going to go all the way over. I want to show you what firmware on this bitch. You will see we're on 4.81. And this is a 2001B model, so it's a 250 gig. So we're going to go right back up. you're going to go to System Update, Update via Storage Media, and you'll see I've got the hybrid firmware, which again is already in the file I gave you. You don't have to do dick, but what I'm doing here. I'm going to hit OK. And of course, we're going to go through. You don't even have to put this bitch in safe mode to do this. And we're going to go ahead and basically it's going to go through, install the firmware. As soon as that's done, we'll pick it back up. Okay, it just finished installing. Now, what they do recommend is that you actually install the firmware twice. So we're going to do that. And since I'm not making you sit there through it, it's not taking that long. And just a FYI, I am, unlike any of these other tutorials, they show you how to do it and then they're done. And half you fucks don't know what to do next. So after we're done with this, I am going to show you how to install firmware. We're going to be going to Rebug 4.84 DEX. Well, actually SEX, but we're going to convert it to DEX. And I'm going to show you guys how to install all the spoofs, all the tools, everything you need. So just sit tight. This video is going to take a little bit, but I'm going to be as fast as I can. I'm going to let this install for the second time, and then we're going to jailbreak the motherfucker. While that firmware is installing, these are the motherfucking tools of the trade, baby. Got the E-flasher, the clip cables, all that. And that's what happens when you go to BEASTMOD jailbroken PS3s. Because even doing these exploits, I still pull the motherfuckers apart and I paste the chips and I clean the bastards out. I would call them competitors, but that's a strong word. Motherfuckers trying to hate talking about my shit takes 2 weeks. Get the fuck out of it. My shit ships out in 48 fucking hours. 2-day priority, signature tracking. That is why I have the rating I have on my page. And of course, let me take you in here. I just happen to have a few PS3s in stock. So, believe it or not, this is low right here. I'm heading out today and I'm picking up another 20 since I sell 40 to 50 a month. But I've always got them. One-offs, the 320 gigs, the 250 gigs. Those are kind of rare models. So I might buy 20 of them and I'm lucky if I get a 320. But I do get them and I always have them. So in addition to that, once you purchase your shit, I'm going to take you back in here. You will get a disc with the system. So I send this with every console as well as the instructions on how to open the mod menus. That's a backup of everything on your system, plus some goodies, FileZilla, TeamViewer, TeamAppy. I've also got all the GTA 5 freeze tools on there. Your shit gets bubble wrapped, boxed up, 2-day priority, signature tracking. Once you make your purchase, I will contact you immediately when I pull my orders in the morning, and you get to pick 3 games. So, and I do install the games as well as the mod menus, if applicable, because some games obviously do not have mod menus, but it sounds like our firmware is in there. So yeah, that's how we rock at this motherfucker. Now, I gotta admit, I did have a slow month in the month of April. I only sold 38 consoles, so shame on a motherfucker. But yeah, I wanted to put that out there because, you know, a couple of these guys that are jailbreaking out of their bedroom and can't seem to get a hold of consoles like I can, in an attempt to keep some business and put bad paper out there, trying to act like motherfuckers can't get them. So now you know the real deal. You will never get video of stock, inventory, and shit like any of these motherfuckers. So let's get back over to business now. Okay, so before we head over to the PS3, we want to start up the mini web server. So again, once you extract this file from me, and you copy all this over to your, well, you want to copy it to your computer first of all, but you also want to copy this over to the, this, and this. All 3 of those you want to copy over to the, your thumb drive. And then this mini web you're going to want to put on your computer. So then what you're going to do is we're going to open this up, and you're going to click on the mini web. And of course, you're rocking and rolling. Now you'll notice right here the 192.168.1.152 and then colon 8000. That's your port number. You need to know that. So once you get that number, your host number right there, write it down if you can't remember the motherfucker, and we're going to go in and I'll show you how we're going to use that. Make sure you leave the web open. Okay, So now we're ready to rock and roll. Now, of course, just to recap, once you copied all them files onto your thumb drive, which included the firmware, that has the flash hex on there. So make sure you leave this in the PS3 in the right-hand socket. I'm putting it in there right now. You got to keep that shit in there. And now we've got our web server running. So now we want to go over to our, and you want to make sure you're connected to the internet. So I've already set up an internet connection. We're good to go. And we're going to go to our web browser. Now, as soon as that opens up, you're going to hit triangle. You're going to go up to tools. And you are going to go down to home page. And you're going to click use blank page. Once you do that, you're going to hit OK. And, well, we don't need a plugin. We're going to back out of there. Hold the circle button, close the browser. And sometimes it'll do this. I'm glad it did it. It froze right there. I'm going to unplug it and reboot it. I'm sorry, good to go. All right, we're fired back up. No, we're not going to report to Sony. And no, we're not going to rebuild the database. All right, let's get the fuck back over where we got to go. So once we set that to the blank page, we're going to go back over, open the internet browser. And we have our blank page. So before we get started, you're going to hit triangle, go to tools. You want to go down and delete your cookies. Same thing, triangle tools, delete your search history, triangle tools. You're basically going down, deleting all of them. The cache. Now, once that's done, you're going to hit start. And we're going to go in here. And this is where you're going to type in that number I showed you. So in my case, it was 192.168. Whoop. .1.152. And then, of course, colon and 8,000. And then you're going to hit start on your controller. And boom, our directory's up there. So basically what you have up here now, these are all the files I put in the docs folder. So depending on what you have, in this case, I have a NOR chip. So I am going to hit on the NOR HTML. If you had a NAND, you would be on the NAND. So again, it's going to tell you your firmware version requires 4.84, the hybrid. We have that. And now we want to go down here and you're going to initialize the exploit. So I clicked on that. That is successful. Now, this is where you want to make sure your shit's on point, gang. Because once I hit patch that NOR, if this fucker shuts off, you pull your thumb drive out, you do anything, you can possibly brick your shit. So do not do that. So I'm going to click on this. And it is patching right now. Sometimes it takes a couple minutes. Sometimes it's relatively quick. But you definitely do not want to piss with this while this is going down right here. And I mean, do not piss with it, you filthy motherfucker. Come on, bitch. Let's go. The other couple times I did this, generally took a minute or two. Boom, motherfucker. Okay, you're done. You're fucking jailbroken. It's that simple. So what I do at this point is I hit the PS button. You're going to go over, and we are going to shut the system off. And now we're ready to install custom firmware. So I'm going to take you over to the computer now to quickly show you the other download you're going to make, where I, again, gave you every motherfucking thing you need. Okay, this one is going to be labeled BEASTMOD 4.84 Tools. And literally, you are going to copy this onto another thumb drive. Or you can wipe the hard drive you previously used and put this shit on here. Okay? These are all the package files you're going to install. And of course, here is your firmware. And it's properly named. Well, I got 2 of them in there. You're not going to need that. So we're going to get rid of that. So the firmware will be in there. Copy that onto the root of your thumb drive. Again, must be formatted to FAT32. And then we're going to go back over to the PS3, and now we're going to set it up. Now, since we're going through this whole installation shit, and I'm doing this so I don't get 80 questions, this was the thumb drive I had just used with the exploit and the flash hex. This is the one I just showed you. We're going to stick this in here. Now, to install this firmware, you got to go through safe mode. So you're going to press and hold this down. It's going to beep a couple times and shut off. As soon as it shuts off, you're going to quickly power it back on, holding the power button down. And now it's going to beep, and we're looking for a double beep. Awesome. What that's going to do, let me kill that light so you guys can fucking see. It's going to tell you to hit the PS button, which we're going to do. We're going to scroll down to System Update, hit X, and 4.84 or later, and we're going to press our Start and Select button, and it's going to check. Pause this for a minute. Awesome. Started installing. So again, the system's already on sec. So when we're going in, we're installing Rebug 4.84. It's Rex technically. But once we get on, we're going to convert to Dex. So don't worry about that. It's going to go through this shit. You're going to accept the user license agreement. When that's all finished, we'll pick it up from there. All right. Just zip through the firmware. Fuck you. I see you looking. Fuck you. Let's go, bitch. Let's give us that rebug. Boom. Yeah, this is where a lot of you guys get stuck. And I get it, you're eager to jailbreak your system, you get a jailbroke, and then it's like, okay, what do I fucking do next? So, first thing we're gonna do. Now, again, I still have the thumb drive that you should have copied all the shit I told you to over there. And you're gonna go right to your package manager, install packages, PS3 system storage, and we're gonna install the Rebug toolbox. Now we're gonna go back to the package manager, install packages, except this time we're going to go down to standard, which is your thumb drive. And looky here, motherfucker. Now I've got a bunch of stuff on my thumb drive. Do not pay attention to it. But I install shit in a particular order. So because of the firmware on, we need Endstone, which is CAPI 2.0 revision 5. So we're going to install that. Then package manager install, standard. I'm going right down, installing the PSN stealth patch. Back to the pack manager, standard. And now I'm going to tell you now, I don't think this PSN Ninja is effective anymore, but I still install it. Package manager, install packages. Now we're going to install multi-man. And last but not least, after this, we are going to install Webman. And I'll show you guys why here in a minute. Oh, get over here, bitch. Webman. All right. And that quick, all our shit is installed. We're ready to fucking rock and roll. So the first thing we want to do is we want to convert to Dex. So we're going to open up our Rebug toolbox. Now, the one thing I do like that the Rebug gang did do on this now is they just automatically enabled and toggled the Cobra mode. So not a big deal, you just have to turn it on, but it's already fucking done. So you're going to move over one, and you'll see system information. I'm sorry. System information, and it shows you we're on sex right out the fucking gate. So we're going to go over here. First thing you want to do in the selector column, first column over to your right, is you want to switch your debug menu to Dex. And then, of course, you'll see toggle Cobra mode's already enabled. So we're going to go all the way down to the very last column, the utilities column, and we want to enable our QA flag. And then you want to push up a couple times on the D-pad. So as soon as you turn that on, you want to go up to dump the EID root key. Now, when I do this, it should pause and triple beep. If it triple beeps right away, you got to do it again. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, see, no good. It'll give you it should pause for about 5 to 10 seconds before it does that. So when it does that bullshit, I just go back up and I do it again. It intermittently does that. So once you get fired back up, go back into rebug. Now, keep in mind, if yours paused for about 5 to 10 seconds, you don't have to do this again. Just let me show everybody so we can get on to the next step. And usually what I'll do, I'll come over, I'll disable it, and I'll re-enable it. And then I'll go up on the D-pad, 1, 2, 3 to dump the EID root key. Awesome, it's working. See how we got that pause now? There we go. That worked. Perfect. So it's going to fire back up. And now we are going to go back into our rebug toolbox and actually switch our target and our kernel. So as soon as you fire back up, we're going to go down, open the rebug toolbox. It literally takes 4 minutes to convert to DEX. Once this bitch opens up, you're going to scroll over to your DEX sex column. You want to go to rewrite target ID in flash. Yes. And then you're going to go up to swap LV2 kernel. That requires a restart. And congratulations, motherfucker. You are now on DEX. But you can't sign in yet, and I'll show you why. I'm going to pause this 1 second since my hot motherfucking coffee is boiling. Alrighty. Now a motherfucker is proper. I got that hot ass motherfucking cup of joe. Alright. So, now we've just converted to DEX. So the next piece you want to do, you're going to go over to Webman. Now, if you're fucking patient and you actually read what he wrote on there, it says hold down the L1 for the full edition and hit your X button. So that's what we're going to do. I am going to press my L1 button and I am going, while you're on it, and hit X. That is going to install Webman on there. It used to be integrated into the to the Rebug firmware. That's one of the reasons I didn't jump to 4.82 for so long, because I'm fucking lazy. And with the amount of consoles I sell, it's any way I can speed up the process to get done that doesn't sacrifice quality, I do. So, now you're still going to see Webman Games does not show up right there. And that's because you need another reboot. So I take advantage of that. It already said Webman loaded, so now I'm going to install the control console, because what that's going to do is give me the restart I need anyways. You already hear the fan kicking up because it's set to 68. So you're going to hit OK, 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 and this motherfucker's going to reboot. So you guys are getting a 1 on... Motherfuckers don't explain this shit. We ain't got no creepy ass fucking music playing here. No bullshit. This is straight out the ghetto here, motherfucker. You're getting it one-on-one. Okay. Now you'll notice Webman Games shows the fuck up. Webman loaded in the top right. So you're going to go to Webman Games, Webman Setup, and PS3 Webman Setup. So basically XXX, motherfucker. Whoa, bitch. We don't need it that big. Now, you'll notice up here, and this is why you want to repaste chips. Right up here, this CPU is sitting at 71. RSX is at 60. That's not good, man. The dynamic fan auto's on at 68. I am going to click in here and change the lowest fan settings to 40. Whoop. Once you get that set, just hit circle. It'll back you out of there. Now, you want to come down here to IPDS MEM. So when you open that up, nice thing about this, it's all blocked. Otherwise, this is your console ID on top. You got to click this little underscore right here, and it'll show you all the numbers. But you got to give me a minute, motherfucker, because I'm not giving you the console ID. So let me cover that. Okay. So once you got that done, like I said, you're going to take the little arrow. You're going to go right over here to the bottom. Right there, there's a little underscore in a box, and you're going to click that. Now, here's the confusion. Again, in the United States, it could vary. This is your region code. This is your console ID. It's 32 characters and numbers. That 84 in the US switches to an 82. And so you can't sign the fuck in. So the first thing you want to do is go up here. You want to check the box. This is going to switch this every time at startup. Make sure that IPDS box is checked. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to click in this box. And it's going to pull up a text box. And once it does that, I don't know if it'll let me move it down. It will. So you can see it. Well, we'll just move it up. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to delete this right here by hitting square. And then I'm going to go up here and I am going to type A4 in, which I've done. So now here's another little trick I'm going to save you the problem at. A lot of people would try to hit your start and try to back out of there or hit the enter, and it'll always delete that last number. You don't do that. All you got to do to get out of there, once you type that 4 in there, hold your R1, it'll move you all the way to the end, and then hit circle. Bam, motherfucker. So now we're good to go. We switched that to an 84. So I am going to hide that again. Let me get this bullshit off there. So once you got that typed in, all you're going to do is scroll all the way down to the bottom corner of the screen, which I don't know if you can see it. There is a save button down there. So once you get there, hit save. And then literally at the top, it's going to say click here to restart. You literally got to go to the word here and click here. Boom, motherfucker. So now we are properly set up on Dex. Everything is installed. We are ready to fucking rock and roll. So that's it, gang. Let me scroll back out here. That is how you jailbreak it. And I'll be honest with you, when I'm done, you don't need that webman anymore. I hit triangle, delete it, get it the fuck up off there. And that's it. This is how your setup should be. Now, on some pimp shit, another thing I do when I set my consoles up, because custom things can fuck with the system, so I don't do that. This comes on all my consoles. Copy this shit over, set this bitch up. And the next thing you want to do is install games. You're going to have to refer to my other video. All my videos, I put some on this YouTube channel, but on my Facebook page, I've got a little over 7,000 people that follow me there. That's where all my tutorials are. So when you get a console from me, this is what this motherfucker looks like when it comes in. Good to go. So the next thing you're going to do, obviously, I've got a couple terabyte hard drives that I have all my games on. And this is how I install them. So once that's done, again, I'm going to plug this into the right-hand socket. And you got to accept the license agreement for this. This is also how you're going to load your games. Ooh, you guys got some quality motherfucking time. I normally don't do shit this long, but I am trying to save myself a lot of headache and questions. So, first time you do this, it takes a second to load everything. Oh, and you'll get to hating this fucking song. I also have a tutorial that shows you how to switch this music or just shut it off. So we're in there. You can change the layout by hitting L1 or R1, going each way. And you'll notice on my terabyte, I have all these fucking games. So if I wanted to install a game, just keep scrolling up, pick out whatever the fuck I want. And GTA. Hit triangle, copy. Wants a copy to the hard drive. Bam, bitch! Let me get some of that G-Tizzle. So, that's it, gang. Again, if you go over to BEASTMOD Jailbroken PS3s on our picture, or on my Facebook page, I've got a ton of tutorials. How to install SPRX menus for fucking dummies. How to fix error codes. How to convert to DEX. How to install games over FileZilla, package files. You name it, it's fucking there. So, I am out, you trick motherfuckers. You're going to want to get over... you know what? I'm going to put it on here. I'm kicking off another Jailbroke giveaway. Probably be today or tomorrow. And I'll tell you all about the contest in the next video. So other than that, motherfuckers, I am out.